Tick closer towards Christmas. Are your decorations up? The retail machine cranks up to full speed as well. Shopping for presents, festive foods and decorations, all to brighten up your home. But what's the cost? It's estimated that 40 million Christmas crackers alone head straight to landfill once the corny joke has been read out and the Christmas hat's been worn. Well, joining me now is Kate Hardcastle, consumer expert at Insight and Passion. Kate, we do create a huge amount of waste at Christmas, of course, but surely much of that is recyclable these days.
You'd like to think so, but unfortunately, in most of the research that's come back in, it doesn't seem to be the case. And I think that's down to almost the hierarchy, or if you like, the hierarchy of needs. When we shop in particularly at emotional times of year like Christmas, it seems that thoughts around the sustainability, environmental impact tend to move down the list as we start to think about availability and price affordability. And this year is a little bit like no other. Consumers are very concerned that this has to be a good Christmas. They're trying to make up for what they felt last year in a lot of territories was a very challenging time. And certainly retailers are trying to make sure that their wares are affordable and in front of the consumers to pick up. So that environmental messaging that we heard, particularly in October, November around COP26, doesn't seem to be prevalent in either the retail or consumer state. But thankfully, changes are afoot. And just like in the fast fashion industry, where we're seeing a huge push in terms of opportunities to recycle or even rent products, similar is happening in the Christmas market. And I think we are on the brink of change.
Well, talk us through some of that change, because is there a sort of more gentle solution than for, Scrooge to have his way and we all just start banning things like Christmas crackers if they just end up in landfill? Or can consumers opt and have the power to enjoy all of the traditional Christmas items, but being more environmentally friendly in the process? Can labelling be more clear, for example?
You don't have to be Scrooge or Grinch-like, but what consumers need for it to be successful is it needs to be affordable to them, definitely needs to be something they're aware of, and it needs to be something that realistically they can get within time pressures and the time frame they might have to buy. And I think that's where small businesses have really proven again their vibrancy to the economy, because it tends to be these more startup organisations that will push forward the change, and also then social media helps spread the word. So something like Christmas tree rental isn't hugely popular, but it's starting to grow. We're seeing a lot more tutorials on social media about this idea of perhaps remaking, reusing, recycling Christmas decorations, making your own Christmas crackers. These are the messages we need to get out there, and businesses that enable that, support that, put that messaging out there, in the long run will certainly win. But I think more than anything, it's about us as consumers starting to tick over actually the value of Christmas. It has to be perhaps one that we associate with the real meaning of Christmas, one that's perhaps more about our presence than our presents.
Yeah, absolutely. And Kate, I would imagine that you do believe that manufacturers should be held more accountable for producing items that can easily be recycled and are easier to know which are recyclable and which aren't, so that the power can then lie with the consumer to make the right choice.
So many consumers want business to be better, and businesses can make such big inroads here with not a lot of effort. Most packaging still is really challenging for a consumer to read through it and work out, is this recyclable? How should I do it? It makes it very difficult. Ditto websites and communications. All I think we need enabling on pretty much everything we buy is clarity. What does it mean? How much of it is recyclable? What do we need to do with it? Are there better ways to buy? And again, I do think businesses that start to enable us and champion us as the people with the power of the purse will make such a big difference in the long run, because we will associate better values with them. And that's the change that's happening. We are very much on a tipping point. I look forward to Christmases where we're wrapping things in brown paper packages and string again. It's good for the environment. It looks a lot better, and actually it feels a lot more like the tradition we used to.
Yeah, it does, doesn't it? Okay, Kate, really good to talk to you. Kate Hardcastle, the consumer expert at Insight with Passion.